Well, if your InDesign files are feeling slow, messy, and stressful to export, it's not InDesign, it's your workflow. In this video, I'll walk you through my complete InDesign workflow, which I use for real client works, from setting up a blank document to a safe export. 3 rules I never break when I'm using InDesign. First, I never design without setting up my document correctly. Second, I never design without styles. And third, I always ensure that I've got a green pre-flight light before I export my PDF. It isn't about shortcuts, hidden features, or anything like that. It's about a repeatable system that keeps your document clean and your export safe every time. I'm Darren Goddard. Let's now jump into it. With InDesign open, step 1 is your document setup, which is the foundation of every project. So Command N or Control N, depending on what operating system you're on. You can see you've got custom sets here. You've got a default, and you can make your own. So we're just going to start with an A4. So we've got the preset here, but we'll just type it in 210 297, and we've got the preview on, so you can see behind what you're actually making. I can just move this to the side to make it a bit easier. Columns, we'll keep 1 column. Placing pages, we're not making a magazine, so we'll turn that off, so that'll just be single page. Margins, I like to have these about 10 millimeters, but obviously this is up to you, it's a personal preference. Bleed and slug, bleed, which goes beyond the trim for when the printer's finished the document. So I'm going to put 5mm all the way around because this is the standard, and you can see you've now got a pink line which is indicating this. The slug area I'm not going to bother about because I don't really use a slug, but if you want to put like a media bar on your jobs, then this is good because you can reference the file at a later date, and then you hit create. So that's step 1. So you've now got your document set up. If it looks boring, well, that's correct at this stage. It's just a blank page. Now we move on to step 2, which is making styles before you design. So this can be paragraph styles or just character styles. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up some character styles and then some paragraph styles. So we'll go over to the character styles. I've got it here, but if you haven't got it open, it's under type, character styles. So then we're going to hit a new one, and then we're going to double click on it, which will open up this box. You can name it what you want. So we're just going to call it bold, and you go and select what font you want. We'll just go for Helvetica, set it to the bold font. You've got lots of other settings here. You can change the color, so we'll keep it as black. So we'll okay that. And you can see we've now got one called bold. So if I just draw a text box and then type in some copy, it's picked up that character style already. So if I put it on none, it will then default minimum pro, which is the default for InDesign. But you can now select the font you need and the weight. I'll just delete that. So once again, we can go to paragraph styles under the type menu, and it's paragraph styles. Create a new one, double click on that. We can name this body. So again, you can set up what you want here. You can have that regular. You can set up all spacings, lots of different things here. You can make rules, your hyphenations, shading. There's so many functions in here. Character color, we can make that on blue, for example. Lots of different things here. In the general tab, you can also base it on another style. So if you've got more than one style, you can base it on there. So there's lots of different options here. So we can okay that. So again, if I draw a text box now and just put it on the basic one, start typing, picking up the bold from the character style we set up earlier. If I go to the character style, make that none, then it's just the default, so we can just type some body text in, return some more body text. And if I go to the paragraph styles and click on the paragraph style we now created, you can see that the copy's changed. You can see it hasn't done everything because I put a hard return on. And if I do Command Option I, you can show what's called the invisibles. To zoom up, and this shows you a hard return. If I put a soft return on, which is shift return, it's now 1 paragraph and it changes. So that's how you set up paragraph styles and character styles. Drop a comment down below if you'd like a tutorial dedicated to paragraph styles and character styles. If you're formatting manually as you go along, you're not building a workflow, you should be using character styles and paragraph styles. This way you're in control of your settings. Step 3, image workflow. Do not paste images, always use linked images, and always scale responsibly. Place your image into your file, don't paste them, and ensure they're linked and do not embed. So to place an image, you want Command or Control D on the keyboard, select your image, open, and then paste. And if you drag, you can make it the size you want. You go up to the link panel, and you can see your images there. You can embed them, but I don't advise it because it makes a very heavy file And then if you make any updates to your image at a later date, it won't update in your document. I'll put a link above to my links tutorial, which shows you every aspect of the links panel within InDesign. Step 4 is color and consistency. Here we can set up our swatches for our different clients that we can use regularly, rather than just trying to mess about with colors as we go through our document. Next, we'll go to the swatches panel where we can manage all our colors for the document. So we will go into window, color, and then swatches. Now we can set up all our colors for our document. So we can go new color swatch. We can make a red. We'll take that out, 100, 100, 100. So we made a red now. You can double click on the swatch. You can rename it. So we can rename that red. And this is obviously CMYK, because I've got a CMYK document. If we're working in the RGB color space, this would all be RGB colors we would be making, not CMYK. And for CMYK workflow, you can also use spot colors as well. And if your colors look quite dull on the screen for CMYK, this is correct for print work. RGB, you get nice vibrant colors, but they're dulled down for CMYK, which is perfectly normal. Step 5, the Preflight panel. This is something that seems to get overlooked, but it's an important part of the workflow. You can have it open all the time, or if you look down here, you can see you've got a green light. So this is the enabled Preflight. So we can open the panel. And at the moment, it's got the basic one. You've got different ones here. I've set one up for print. So we've got 2 errors. So it's telling me there's 2 errors. That's because this is an RGB image. And we go to here, image resolution, and it tells me the resolution. This is one I set up. So you can set these up yourself. If you click the link above, it will take you to my tutorial on the Preflight panel, where I go through setting up each stage and what you must do to make this work properly. Don't use a Preflight as a final check. Use it as a progressive check where you're building your document. So if we just turn it back to the basic one, turn that off, you can see that the green down here. So as long as that's active, you can keep an eye on that. And as soon as it goes red, then that means there's something wrong and you need to action. Once you've got your green light and everything's checked and you're happy, you're ready for step 6, which is exporting your PDF. So Command or Control E, depending on what operating system you're on. Navigate to where you want to save your PDF. We're just going to call it test, save, select our preset, got no alert, and then we can hit export. Now you're ready to save your document as a template. So we go file, save as, go to our desktop, and we'll call it temp1. Obviously you'd name it per client, template. You get a little different extension here. It's got a T at the end instead of a D. So we'll just shut that down. Now we'll go to our desktop. So I'm just going to hide InDesign. And there's the template. So if we double click on it, which will open up, you'll see it opens up as untitled. And this means you can't overwrite the template. This workflow isn't all about speed, it's about control. Once you've got a solid process, the speed takes care of itself. If you've enjoyed the tutorial, then please consider giving me a like. It helps the algorithm so much. Thanks. And also, for more productivity workflows in InDesign, please consider subscribing to the channel. And just before you go, check out my next video here. It goes through the complete Preflight process. Thanks and keep creating.